Okay, here we go. So here's a little bit about me, and for those that I haven't met yet, I am a Lowell alum. I graduated from Lowell in 2011, so I'm familiar with their experiences. We're all not familiar with this online learning thing, but we'll get used to it. I ask that you have patience with me and patience for yourselves and your teachers and everyone around you, because we're all unsure about how this works. Like, I'm super nervous, even though I'm just sitting in my own room talking. Um, I then went to UC Davis, studied computer science. So I hope uh, that qualifies me to be your teacher in this class. I had a stint with Girls Who Code, and that motivated me to be a teacher. Right? I tried software engineering at HP and didn't really like it. Stayed there for about a year, made a good amount of money, but that wasn't really my thing. So that's why I'm here teaching you all computer science. Uh, so a little bit about my summer. This little comic with this duck properly illustrates how I felt most of summer, especially as school was nearing, especially like last night. I had so many things to do, and you just stand there, like, oh well, yeah, I tried, and that constant procrastination, fear of like what's going to happen next, right? It's crippling at times. And that's okay. Where you have other, we're working on means to get past that. And the majority of my summer I spent playing video games. So I had a taste of Minecraft again. That was interesting. And then I played a lot of World of Warcraft. Click. Next slide. Come on. All right. So this is an AP class. So it's supposed to be equivalent to the first semester of a college computer science course. Credit-wise, it translates to this course in City College. Turn on my pointer, make sure that's working. And the prerequisites for this class is that you've taken some kind of computer science course at Lowell. So that's my course, the past 2 years, or AP Computer Science Principles. If you're not sure that you meet these prerequisites, then email me. I'm your instructor. Most of you I've reached out to for those that didn't have evidence of a computer science class in their transcripts, and I have to get back to some of you. But if you're unsure, just shoot me an email. Okay. Because it's half a semester of a college level computer science course, these are the things that are required of you. That you have some prior program experience, that you're familiar with the use of Google Classroom and Synergy, and the new thing for this course is you'll be using GitHub to share your creations and to navigate that. Here's a giant list of things you'll learn. Object-oriented programming is going to be big. Advanced Java programming. Java is the language we will be using. We'll pick up a little bit of HTML and CSS because we are posting some of our cool projects onto our own websites. GitHub, or more generally Git, is version control. It's very popular and kind of the norm now in industry on how you share and maintain code. And then down here, we have a bunch of other interesting topics like searching and sorting, recursion. Those kinds of topics do end up being on the AP test, which we'll talk about, and some other topics, right? And some things very unique to this course. We'll do some game development. One of the milestones of this course is like making the Asteroids game. I made it when I took this course with Mr. Simon, over a decade ago, and that assignment is still kicking, with good reason. At this point, I'd like to introduce you to the main hub of our classroom, or virtually. It's not so much Google Classroom, it's apcs.github.io. Remember that website, bookmark it. Okay, and I'll take the time to demo it now. When you go, oops, my screen's kind of slow. Okay, this thing. So you always go here, right? And we'll gradually work down the page as time progresses. And for those that are really feeling it, you're welcome to go ahead. Just know that not all the materials have been updated for this year. The first couple things are, but as we like these things, slide deck especially will be edited. Just as a heads up. At any point, do feel free to unmute yourselves and ask me questions or post in the chat, and I'll be monitoring that. So back to the presentation. Give it a moment. My laptop doesn't seem to really handle this because I'm recording it at the same time. Grading policies, these things are listed out in the syllabus, which is on apcs.github.io. You will be graded on these things: programming assignments, weekly reflections, tests and quizzes. Although tests and quizzes may look different this semester, I'm still working with Mr. Simon on how that will look like and how to most fairly grade it. They're all cumulative, which means they build up as each marking period progresses. And all of you are expected to take the AP test, which is Thursday, May 6th in the spring. Mark that in your calendars. It may be online like it was last year, that I know a lot of you have experienced, or maybe this is your first AP class. And yeah, the online thing is going to be odd. The College Board still plans to give on AP tests. How they look, it's going to be weird. So I'll update you as soon as I know. Okay, weekly reflections. This is like the biggest thing for like my class. For those that have had me before, you know the deal. On Google Classroom, you're going to answer a couple of these questions. This also serves as a check-in for me. It's how I'll do attendance week by week. So please make sure you fill these out each week. And I made the due date Friday 3 p.m. because that's when I need to report attendance. For those new to the class or new to me, what are weekly reflections about? They look like this. Okay, here's a really good example on summarizing what happened in class, right? Mind you, this is last year in the fall, so we were in the classroom doing things. But here's a nice little example. Very specific, shows me they're on task and working on stuff. And with this online learning environment, this is really how I see like what you're working on, especially for those asynchronous days, those days where we're not meeting like we are now for live instruction. And if you want to follow along with these slides, they are on the website. Make sure you click on the Chan tab. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Right here, right on the APCS Lowell website, Mr. Simon and I have made slightly different PowerPoints. Just click here, right? Make sure you're always in the Chan categories. Here are some bad examples. Though I appreciate the honesty, you still got at least half credit for these kinds of reflections. Some of you may recognize these. I pulled them from last semester, last 2 semesters ago. Okay, so even if it looks like this, fill out your reflections. It's okay. I just need to know that you're there, that you have evidence of some kind of work. Okay. So these are the things you are to accomplish today, like in class ideally, because they are short, and if you have any difficulties, unmute yourselves, ask the questions, or ask in chat. There's 2 main resources we'll introduce to you now for you to sign up for. These links are in the PowerPoint, so you'll have to go there. So if I'm you, right, I would go to apcs.github.io in a separate tab. Ideally, you don't have my screen. When I'm sharing full screen, it's like minimized to some extent. And you'll go down to slide 19 and then click on these links. Although this isn't linked, make sure you click the Chan specific tab for the survey to get some contact information, to understand what kind of technology you're using at home. I'm interested in what kind of computer you're using, because we may have to update our materials to like specifically for Chromebooks, because that's all browser based. And for those using Macs, Mr. Simon is a Windows primary user, and if we were physically in a lab, like his tutorials are all geared towards Windows, so there may be some other things we have to change. Okay, go to GitHub, APCS Lowell GitHub.io, and sign up for these things. I'll do attendance. I need to find out who's missing. Time check. We got about 19 or so minutes, which I hope is going to be enough time. Should be, because that's like most of the stuff I have to talk about, and I'll field questions now. In my 1,000 tabs. Mm, Justin Lee, are you there? You can say things in the chat. I don't have you on my roster as of this morning when I checked. That's maybe your Zoom listed name, or you may go by something else. Ah, there we go. Thank you. Thank you, Justin. In 3 or so minutes, I'll show you the websites. Take this time if you finish signing up for these things to browse apcs.github.io. If you're stuck, the next 2 slides, they got some more tips. Okay, so at 9:23, I'll walk you through some of the resources. You'll have some time to fill out your reflection, and then you're good to go. Gosh, attendance does take a while. Ryan Lee, are you here? If you could type in chat real quick to help me out. Great, thank you. Take another minute or so. Sign up for those things, click around the website. A little bit more talking. Or notice how I'll pause recording during this time. forgot to do that. Alright, so that was like 5 or so minutes. Let me walk you through some of like what we're going to use these websites for. So first off is Piazza. If you've taken a math class with me, or you've taken Algebra 1 with me, then you know about this website. So for us, Piazza is going to be the place for you to ask for help. All 4 sections of APSCS are going to be signing up for Piazza. It's commonly used as a forum, a place to ask for help in college level like STEM classes, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So every single computer science class I took as an undergraduate used Piazza. You post and ask for help. If you're ever stuck on assignments, post here. What's nice about this is it's really searchable. You can post pictures and things. Other students can ask. But the thing I like most about this is that as students, you can post anonymously here and ask for help, right, without anyone judging you. And you can reply to each other anonymously too, and reach out and help each other, which I think is super important during this time when we're all away. There's a sense that we need to like get connected to help each other out during these like weird times. Okay, so that's Piazza. The other thing that you just signed up for is CS Awesome, which we're trying out new this year. Let's see, Runestone Academy. This is an interactive online textbook that has some great resources. Mr. Simon primarily used this as an AP review. I went to a training that uses this as their main curriculum. So this is like going to be, you're going to be assigned work from here for your asynchronous days. For this block, I think that is like tomorrow, right? There's going to be an assignment on here. You read through and click through those things, and the live lecture is going to review a lot of the same stuff. But this is like our textbooks, quote unquote. Okay, our primary text for the class. If you were like in some other kind of I don't know AP class, you would be prescribed a textbook. This is going to be our like textbook. So you click here. You make an account. One big thing to check is that you have like make sure you're in Lowell Chan 2020 to 21 because it's I do want to like keep track of some of the things you do, so be sure you're here, and if you made an account, now we can keep track of your progress. And it's mainly going to be completion based. So like all of the AP course content is on here, so you can go through this like super fast if you're really comfortable with that. You can read through each little thing, slow down and work through the exercises, ask me questions about them, work with each other on them. So there's a lot of good stuff here, and that's why we chose to use this year. But if you have lots of complaints, if you're not really feeling it, do let me know, because it's the first time I'm using it, Mr. Simon's using it. So we're going to be welcoming that kind of feedback. Okay, so those 2 things, you have Piazza, you have this CS Awesome, or Runestone Academy, interactive textbooks. Make sure you sign up for that. With what? Well, okay, I did want to end class a little bit early today, so you can get adjusted and do some things. So usually I would stop class like with 5 minutes left. Today it's a little special for 10 minutes left, field logistical issues, timing, whatever. I have to be sure I have my phone. So I'm Miss K's on-call tech support too. Miss K is another math teacher in the math department, very senior of the math department, so we need to make sure she gets some resources. So I spent a lot of time this weekend getting her set up. So, but anyways, back to APCS. So here, right now, I'm going to give you more time than usual to add to your reflections on Google Classroom. Okay, summarize like what we did today. Write like a sentence or so. This also serves as like a backup for my attendance in case I mess up, or mainly for what asynchronous days where we're not here with each other. like write down what you worked on, even a sentence or two, and at the week's end, I will really check to see that you are present. Okay, that's the one that really matters. So some of you are like used to waiting till Friday to do like everything. I welcome that. Or if you want just day to day chunk it, get yourself into a usual routine, go here and add on. For those new, this is a Google Classroom question. So I should have made it so that you can go back and edit. Each time you click turn in or like OK, then it saves your progress and just gives me an up to date happening on what's going on your end. So take some time, like add in a sentence there on what you did, any questions you may have. It is public, the information that you post here, unless you do a private comment, so other students can read through and like comment on your post if necessary, or if they feel like it. Just be aware of that. And you have 7 or so minutes to go do what you need to do. I've taken attendance. I'll take the rest of class time to field questions. Otherwise, if you're feeling everything's like set, you can move on to your block 2 and block 3. All right, it's been a good first class. On my end, at least. I just, it's a bunch of talking to myself.